Tata Starbucks has crossed the 1,000 crore rupee sales mark in FY23, and I must admit some bit of that contribution has come from myself too. With the kind of coffee we all consume, it recorded almost a 50% revenue growth for the quarter. My colleague Shilpa got a chance to catch up with Sushant Dash, who is the CEO of Tata Starbucks. Began by asking him about the quarter gone by and decode what are the growth levers and expansion plans for the company. Listen in.
In terms of growth drivers, I think we have just continued to do the fundamentals right. I think we have accelerated our store growth.
Right.
We opened the highest number of new stores in a year, which was 71.
Right.
We are now there in 43 cities across, so we are expanded beyond just the metros. That is giving us growth.
So now the next 1,000 crore, or rather the next big leg of growth, where would you see that coming from? And this new national rollout that you're doing, especially with the localization of the menu and the new smaller offerings, etc., where does that fit into this strategy?
So I think the growth will continue to come from all the markets that we are currently in. I think the headroom is huge. If I look at, and I keep saying this, if I look at a tea versus a coffee penetration, coffee is today 1/10 of tea. So in terms, and we have a young population, 24 years average age, the economy is growing. So as the economy grows, the younger generation comes in, we will have headroom. So
Right.
growth will come from all the markets we currently are,
Right.
and we will continue to expand to newer markets.
Right.
So it will come from both new catchments and our existing catchments.
Right.
In terms of, as you rightly said, the new launch, I think more than what we are launching, while we are doing a lot of stuff, we are launching a completely revamped menu. And the menu consists now of things like bite-sized, shareable, freshly assembled. We are launching a new range of Indian beverages, so as to say, with the Indian consumers more familiar with, which is like masala chai, elaichi chai, filter coffee, milkshakes. We are launching a new size, which is a smaller size, because the Indian consumer, in terms of a share of stomach at home or even outside, we are not used to drinking large quantities of
Right.
liquid, right? We are used to smaller cups. So that is what it is about. So if you look at the total package, why are we doing it? We are doing this because we want, as we expand and we go to newer consumers, when they come into Starbucks, we want them to find familiar things.
Of
Things
course.
that they have grown up with, things that they're used to, and then stay on for what we are known for, which is our coffee, our connection. So that is why the logic behind this launch. The other thing is, in terms of the growth avenue, we are creating new occasions.
Right. No, even the bite-sized or the smaller sized beverage that you're introducing, what's the price point for this that we're looking at? And was the price point also a point in this strategy where you would probably be able to bring in consumers that probably didn't want to pay about $300 for a coffee or a tea?
So we always had actually coffee and food which were less than 300. Okay.
On an average,
So I just want to put it out there so that consumers know that they do know that we have food and beverages, and quite a few of them. But as I said, the idea was more in terms of what the consumer wants and occasion led than price point.
Okay.
But I'll not deny that having a smaller size and bite size does make us more affordable, and the entry price point is now better. So
Okay.
for example, our drinks start at 185. Our food starts at 160.
Okay.
And that makes it attractive. Mainly as you expand and go to smaller catchments.
Right.
And as you grow in size.
Right.
So yes, smaller sizes does help.
And with this next leg of growth or the expansion also, I want to understand with respect to formats also, are you looking at newer formats? I think you launched 2 24/7 stores in India most recently. Will we see more of that also coming in? What's the idea with respect to a store expansion?
So we keep innovating. We opened our first Reserve last year. We introduced drive-ins. In terms of opening 24-hour store, it depends on regulation.
And what about the growth in tier 2, 3 markets also? You have in fact expanded quite a bit. What's the plan on that front? Further store expansion?
We will continue with that.
Okay.
I think, as you rightly said, last year, we are now in 43 cities.
Yeah.
So I can say we are truly pan-India. And if you look at it, we opened 14 new cities last year. We have already opened 2 cities in the first month, Agra and Meerut.
Okay.
So we will continue.
All right. And what about like from a number of stores? I think you are now at about 333 stores.
We are
You opened-
341.
Okay. Oh, okay. Since the last reported, we've seen more stores. Do you have a number for this fiscal?
No, I think we will continue to open as the requirement is.
Okay.
Wherever there is consumer demand
Okay.
and we think we can open it in a brand appropriate manner, find the right kind of real estate, we will go.
All right. And I have to ask you about competition. Now, apart from Starbucks in a similar format, we've seen Pret a Manger's also come in, and Reliance has aggressive growth plans for that. There's also Tim Hortons that is also looking at an expansion. How do you see the competitive landscape? All of these come under the similar segment, and a lot of localized Indian players also, like your Third Wave, etc., have also been expanding aggressively. So, how do you view the competitive landscape? Is that something you're watching keenly?
So, two things. I think competition is good. As I said, there is a lot of headroom. It will grow the category. More people will get familiar with it. So we welcome that. In terms of, as far as we are concerned, we think we need to do what is right for the consumer. As long as we stick to that, as long as we continue to innovate, as long as we continue to understand our consumer and what our consumer requires and cater to that, and do it in a manner that is brand appropriate and what Starbucks stands for, I think we have enough consumers.
Okay, 1,000 crore sales mark is what Starbucks has crossed, but there's a lot of competition in this space. Now,